Good morning. I hope this video can work out okay. I'm not using my tripod and I'm not using my microphone. It is completely on the whim. I'm sitting here having my morning time and I thought I wanted to share something with you guys real quick if I can. One thing that I think many of us Christian ladies struggle with is having our morning time, having quiet to read our Bibles and just have some quiet to start your day. Well, I know I have struggled with it for years and getting that in and getting Bible time in. But one of the things that I do now that I didn't used to is use an audio Bible. And I wanted to share that tip with you. If you have a smartphone, you can get the YouVersion of the Bible app, and it has a built-in audio function on it. And even for different versions, you can use that, and that's really, really nice and awesome. I often will come down here and maybe I've gotten a late start to the day, or it's just busy because my husband's got to get going on work. I got to make breakfast and get going on homeschool, all the things that we do. And sometimes I feel like I just don't have that time to sit and have the quiet that I really want to have. But what I do is I will flip and turn on that audio Bible while I'm cooking and making breakfast or doing the morning things that I have to do. And that's really, really nice. It's, in my mind, sometimes not as ideal because I feel like I don't focus and have the quiet that I'd really like. But usually, eventually, I can sit on down and, chill at some point after breakfast or something like that. But getting that Bible time in, it really, really helps to have some audio in there. And of course, some people use the CDs or even the old school tapes. If you have them, that's fine too. It's just nice now that there's the free versions out there, and of course it's hard to beat free. I like free. That version is good for a quick read if you like to read on your phone. I don't really like to do a whole lot of reading on the phone. I prefer, if I'm going to read, to actually get my physical Bible out so I can highlight and go over verses more slowly if I want to and so forth. But I just want to share that tip. If you don't realize that that's out there for free, please consider getting yourself a copy of that and downloading it on your phone. I'm not sponsored or anything by them. I think it's a good tool to have in your day. So one other thing I wanted to share is I was thinking, a lot of you aren't connected with me on Facebook. You have no idea of a lot of things about me, but if you're on Facebook, you know that I really like birds. And this is something that has only been a hobby for me in the last year or so. Last year we got our first feeder, and this year the feeder has multiplied a lot. And of course I've also gotten into photography more, and the two things have combined to form a very expensive hobby, which is the bird photography. And the feeders, we've spent a lot more this year on bird food than we ever expected, but we have gotten a lot of joy from it. My husband and I have both really enjoyed. So I was sitting here this morning having my quiet time, and I thought, I'm going to share very briefly my view out my window right now while I'm having my quiet time. And I have to tell you, it's awesome. I feel so, so blessed. I may not always have this little view. Who knows what God will bring in store. Of course, we rent this particular place, so I have no idea how long we'll be able to be here, but I really, really love having a little spot with the feeders right outside my window, so while I'm sitting here having my Bible time, I can listen to the birds and hear the little flutter of wings, and you can even hear as their little beaks are cracking the seeds, because this one feeder here is very close. I'm going to show you here in a second. But the one feeder I've got very, very close. Hummingbird feeder is pretty close, and then there's a couple more just not real far. You can certainly still hear and so forth, but I've just really, really enjoyed them. And I would say, I have no idea how you feel about birds or if you're in a spot where you can put up feeders, but it's just a really peaceful way to start your day. So this is my little happy place. All my little birdies out here. You can see my feeders are very close to the windows here, which is one of the reasons why I can get pretty close pictures. Now, right now, of course, no one is landing at the close one. When I go to show you. Stinker pots. But I really like my feeders. There's actually one out on the front porch as well. This is the window I sit by most of the time during my quiet time. I just really enjoy it a whole lot. See out there on the little stovetop thing, that's what we call it. We put a pan that we found at the thrift store, poke some holes in it so it becomes a place where the larger birds like doves and things can land. We also like to put peanuts here on top of the hook of the hummingbird feeder. Well, not on top of the hook, on the green feeder, and then the blue jays will land on the top hook. See right where that chickadee just landed? Blue jays will land there and snag the peanut, which is great for photo opportunities. That little hook is my favorite spot for when birds land. I like getting their photos. It's just a blast. It's a whole sport in of itself. And the blue jays, they do what we call the hummingbird slide. They'll land on the top of that hook, slide over, snag the peanut off of the green, and then they'll practically bounce off that green feeder and then bolt away. And it's hilarious because they do it so fast because they know I'm sitting here about, I don't know, like 3 to 4 feet away or whatever, and they just try to get in and get out as quick as they can. They're hilarious. And then sometimes if the window's kind of half down, they'll linger. And the other day I looked out, hey chickadee. The other day I looked out and the window is partially down and the blue jay's like peeking up and under looking in like, hey human, are you there human? It's just so funny. They're so smart. They have so much intelligence. I don't know how well you can see on this video to see all the activity going on out there. And honestly, this is a little low. There's usually several on each feeder at any one given time. Probably because I get the video out. You know how that goes. When you try to show and share something, they all disappear. But I might share from time to time, but I just wanted to share today about morning quiet time and Bible time and share my little happy place. I like my birds. There's not very many I don't like. They're just little sweeties. I don't like the real mean ones, the red-bellied woodpeckers. They seem to be really mean to the other ones. Starlings like you see out there right now on that suet, they're just goofballs. Though when they come in a giant bunch of them, they're very disruptive to the other birds, so that's kind of annoying. But right there's my little chickadee. Hey, Dee. They're such sweet little birds. The chickadee is the bird that got me into birding. I would hear its little call back when we lived in Columbus still, and I was like, what is that? What's that little bird song? I was hearing it every morning at dawn and I couldn't figure it out. And I went on YouTube and I listened to probably 100+ recordings for birds of Ohio, and I finally figured it out. It was the little Carolina chickadee. Up here we really only have the black-capped because we're further north now, but I just love those little chickadees' morning calls. There's so many of them that I adore. Love the chickadees and the titmice. Blue jays are a big favorite here. Though I know blue jays aren't generally well liked by a lot of people, we do tend to like them. Just so many. The cardinals that we have, they're beautiful red. Looking forward to the winter snows and taking photos of those. So anyway, just sharing my little happy place that I enjoy watching each morning and taking photos. I thought a few of you might actually find it interesting. Who knows? Have a very blessed day, guys.